Hey YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to discuss for a quick moment, the Lance Gross situation. The gross, colorist, ignorant, typical Lance Gross situation. Alright, so a little while ago, Lance Gross posted a picture of his son on Instagram, and he posted the following caption to go along with it. My chocolate little man's color is coming in nicely. I'm hyped. And then he had some like emojis after that. And some people took issue with that, right? And I think that, as usual, black women were probably leading the charge. I don't really imagine uh, black men leading the charge on this. And, some folks had issues with this because they felt like, okay, if that was a big deal for you, wanting a son with a quote-unquote chocolate complexion, why not have a kid with someone who has a chocolate complexion like you do, quote-unquote? And as I mentioned in my previous video dealing with the biracial and light-skinned women who date these type of dudes but don't want to have kids who look like these types of dudes, what they're doing, what they're engaging in doesn't make any sense, and it probably doesn't make sense because they're not mentally well. Think about it. Mentally well people tend to have common sense, tend to demonstrate common sense in their day-to-day lives. But when you're color struck, the common sense, it tends to go out the window. And really, you can make the argument that being color struck is somewhat of a mental illness. You could. I'm pretty sure that is not listed in any sort of medical, psychological, dictionary or encyclopedia or some type of medical condition, but I think we can make that argument. But another video though. In this video, let's discuss what Lance said in response to the criticism, because that's what I really want to get into. All right. So Lance Gross, after receiving criticism, he decided to make a response. He decided to clap back. All right. So let me read his clapback, because his clapback is interesting and it reveals a couple of things. All right. So here we go. Quote unquote. Let me address the misconception. I absolutely love who Lauren and Alice Gross created. I'm assuming that either those are his parents, or either Lauren is like his real name. I don't know. I don't care. One thing I've never desired to be was anyone else. No, but wait a minute though. Who said that he desired to be someone else? I don't think anyone's accusing him of trying to be somebody else. All right. Next. Two things I'm proud of is the ability to smile through any situation and the rich melanin that layers my body. So he's proud of his smile and his rich melanin that layers his body. He's so proud of it that the woman that he decided to marry and procreate with doesn't have that same rich melanin that assumably he wants his kids to have. Doesn't make any sense, does it? Let's continue. For my daughter or son to share that blessing makes me overjoyed. Okay, you consider this, to be positive. And, of course, nothing wrong with that. I agree as well. But I do find it strange that you couldn't find anyone who shares, that melanin, that rich melanin that you love so much. And notice, he kind of dressed it up a little bit. He didn't say chocolate, so I'll give him credit for that. He didn't say chocolate, but, he kind of, dressed it up a little bit and added some decoration to it, if you know what I mean. Like when people say, refer to their skin tone as chocolate versus like dark skin or brown skin, and that sort of a thing. Yeah, I know all about that. All right. So next, miss me with the self-hate because those opinions sorry. Miss me with the self-hate because those opinions and assumptions are invalid. So he letting y'all know that he does not hate himself. Your opinions and assumptions of him are invalid. I personally think that, the dude is color struck. I don't think he is like just full blown self-hatred, but a little color struck where, he might kind of like tend to gravitate towards women of a certain shade, right? And maybe tend to, low key avoid women of a certain shade, the richly melanated women, right? And I think that happens because there's a lot of reasons that go into that. But one reason I kind of want to throw out there is I think that happens because I feel like these guys may feel like when it's like two richly melanated folks together, it's not considered like special or, as captivating or, it doesn't grab people's attention as much. So if you're considering how you look on the outside to people, which, Lance Gross is in the entertainment industry, so he does have to kind of somewhat be, knowledgeable, be aware of how his image looks, right? Yeah. And long story short, I just think that he may feel like two dark-skinned folks don't look good together. He could be like that. But let's see what else he's got to say up in here. I love me more than anyone else ever could. I won't argue with fools, but I'm down to inform the misinformed to a certain extent before I stop giving a shit. I am a proud black man. Black is in all caps, by the way. That loves my African American wife, and that will remain. His African American wife. You notice, like, they basically dudes like Lance Gross help usher in these light, bright, racially ambiguous, biracial women. Help usher them in to low-key erase and push to the side the richly melanated women. But I also think he made the point to put in African American wife because he may feel like people may be looking at him maybe like a low-key sellout. Like he want to put out that, hey, like she's African American, so that folks don't look at him like he's a sellout. Even though he probably went and pursued her partially because she was, quote unquote, exotic, but also still black, so you can kind of toe the line, so you can have someone who is, exotic, but not be seen as a sellout. Right? The simple minds of others don't hold me when I need to be held, assist in raising my kids, and maintain a loving relationship in household, etc., etc., etc. Okay, all right. That's not what they are supposed to do. That's what your wife is supposed to do. But I guess that's what he's saying, like they ain't his wife. But they never claim to be. They're just calling you out on being color struck, being colorist, based on a post that you posted. You didn't have to share this. That's how you know that Lance Gross ain't got no like good team behind him, or even a team, period. Because honestly, I kind of think that Lance Gross's career should be further along than what it is. Think about it. He probably should be on like, you know, perhaps like a Michael B. Jordan type level, like Idris Elba type of level. He probably could have been in Black Panther. Really, he probably could have. But obviously, he doesn't have a good team around him, so that's probably why he ain't in Black Panther. All right, let's move on to the next part of this. While I owe no explanation, I do feel the need to say that this colorism topic is setting us back more than you realize. Okay, now he's concerned about colorism setting us back. I don't think he's really concerned about us, as in like the whole community. I think he's concerned about me, as in himself, and in this colorism topic possibly setting him back. I don't think he's really concerned about much else. And also that whole Christmas photo incident. He kind of told you right then and there what he really feels during that whole Christmas photo incident, which I think that, the brown skinned, dark skinned woman that was left out to the side as a joke, I think that was his sister. I think so. I think that was his sister. All right. But yeah, basically he said, fuck your feelings. He don't care. When that whole situation came up, and black women, especially dark-skinned black women, were kind of coming to him like, hey, this ain't cool. Why you doing us like this? Right? That's another clue too. And why he gonna do that to his richly melanated sister like that? Right? Why not his biological sister too? Right? Why not just not play a part in that? Or either say, hey, I apologize. It wasn't meant that way. you know? Okay. So again, while I owe no explanation, I do feel I need to say that this colorism topic is setting us back more than you realize, especially on social media. Colorism exists, yes, but y'all not about to just label every dark-skinned black man who is in a relationship with someone lighter complexion, his words, under the bus. First of all, I think he probably should have had somebody look over this before he posted this comment or this post. But but notice, he's not just right here. He's not just going to bat for himself. He's going to bat for all dark-skinned men. All right, the men. I would have given him a little credit if he just said people, even though we may have just been like, he means man. But if he said people, I would have given him a little credit for that. If he had said, colorism exists, yes, but y'all not about to just label every dark-skinned person who is in a relationship with a lighter complexion under that bus. I would have given him a little credit, but, it looks like Lance Gross is looking out for self. Because that's all it really looks like. He ain't concerned about nothing else but himself. He's not concerned about how his, the richly melanated sisters. And really, I don't even think he's concerned about the light bright, uh, damn near white sisters. I don't think so. These colorists, that's the thing. When these colorist dudes, like, these women kind of think these light skinned women kind of think they're really doing something until they get caught up with these dudes, and then these dudes kind of show their real true colors, and that they are with them just for vanity purposes, to have a trophy, to have something nice to look at, to have a good look. But don't get it twisted though. These light skinned biracial women, they're sneaky. They know what they're doing. They are well aware of their positionality and what they are able to obtain. They're aware of that. They're aware of how, kind of like that. It's like a hierarchy, and how, where they rank on it and where these type of dudes rank on it. They're aware of that. So they're going to take advantage of this, right? So let's finish this. Just a couple more lines. Hang in there, y'all. I chose love, not skin tone. So his wife's skin tone had nothing to do with his attraction to her. It had nothing to do with why he pursued her. I just find that hard to believe. Even if he wasn't like color struck, I still think the looks play a part in how people react to certain things. Let's be real, looks do matter. Lance Gross is in the entertainment industry, so he, of all people, should know that looks matter. And he goes on to say, that's never been on my dating checklist. I can't tell. I can't tell. Be well. I hope you heal. Find counseling/therapy for the bitter/triggered ignorant mindsets. Ain't that some nerve? He's telling these people who's really speaking the real that they need therapy, that they need counseling. Really, I think Lance Gross may need to visit a therapist or a counselor who specializes in color-struck Negroes. So that was pretty much Lance Gross's clapback letter, and it was just a whole bunch of BS, really. All about self. Skin tone is not on his checklist, but he's, hyped about his son's skin tone, or his chocolate little guy's skin tone. But it's not on his checklist, though, right? He has a light, bright, damn near white wife. The skin tone's not on his checklist, though. But what else is new? Is this really a surprise to anybody? If you really look at a lot of these dudes, particularly in Hollywood, but also on Main Street too, a lot of these dudes like Lance Gross tend to gravitate towards these, the light, bright, biracial, racially ambiguous types, And it's just strange how, like, a lot of these guys tend to have the same, more or less the same taste in women, almost to a point where it was like, was this like socially engineered or something? How did this happen? That's what I want to know. Is it just a coincidence that all these dudes have the same looking women who look the same, who don't reflect you or probably any woman in your family or community? That's just a little strange to me. But what do I know? What do I know? But thanks for watching. Feel free to comment. Thanks for the feedback. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.